All right, we finally got our hands on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's supposed to have a bigger sensor, better camera, and some new features like cinematic mode. It's my first time using this. Hello.
Why are you getting too close?
I can already tell the bigger sensor because in a medium close-up, I'm getting a blurry background. We're definitely getting a shallower depth of field here when you compare the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which already was impressive, but we're taking it a step further now. And I've got a terabyte of storage, so I never have to stop recording, Carrie. So now for the mode that we've all been waiting for is cinematic mode. So let me go ahead, enter that. Continue. The depth space is stored. Whoa! So this is the live preview that I get. So it's already showing me what it's going to look like, but it's definitely imperfect. But let's see how it looks if I record and watch the video back. So we're going into a close-up. Hello. And yeah, you see a little bit of that fuzzy outline. And if you look at her hat, for example, right now, it looks like it's kind of glowing. But let's see, maybe once it's done processing, it's gonna look real good. So we're gonna go ahead and cut, and let's look back on the footage. I don't know, Carrie, what do you think? Can you tell it's like fake background blur? It's got those edges that bloom a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
it almost feels like I could be in front of like a green screen, huh?
Yeah. Okay, whew. So people like me still have a purpose, having like professional cameras. I got worried there for a second. It's like, is this the video where I go, us professionals, you don't need us, just take your phone, it's gonna look just as good. Oh, but check this out, I could go back to the playback and I could adjust where the focus is. So, you know how it's focused on you, but let's see if I tap on the car. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh,
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So it's adjustable. Oh, and I could also just completely turn off the cinematic mode altogether. So you're not tied into it, which is nice. Oh, that's crazy, you could even change the lens. So let's see, if we go to f2.0, very blurry background, and as we close down the lens to f16, you get that focus back in. That's very interesting. But anyways, in case you couldn't hear, there's the Grand Prix. The race car thing, it's going on this way, so let's just go there quickly. Man, checking out the Grand Prix was pretty epic. I mean, you know these cars go fast, you see it on TV all the time, but when you're actually there, it's just crazy. I also thought it was pretty insane how they converted downtown Long Beach to become a racetrack. I mean, this whole area here, we filmed the Red Komodo video here with Cole, and for the weekend, it was just like a completely different place. So definitely cool to see how they convert all that. You also have to admit, the footage from the phone, it's pretty good. Even when I'm blowing it up to a larger screen like this, it's really impressive. They just keep leveling up the quality we're able to get out of our phones. And we did a few more shots with cinematic mode, and it actually can look really, really good. Like this shot right here, sunset in the background. Look at that. It looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks, dare I say, cinematic.
One thing I didn't realize is that it doesn't record in 4K in cinematic mode. It does that in full HD. And then you have the cinematic version, and then you have the normal version. So you can download either or, and you can apply it and alter it. Here's another clip of Dylan eating a delicious chip. And if we take a look at it, you could definitely see that fuzziness around his head. And you could tell if I take a photo in portrait mode, it definitely does a much cleaner cut, and you don't get that blooming, which is the easiest giveaway that it is artificial. You can just tell that it's not 100% there. Like you can see the tip of your nose right there is a little bit blurred when it shouldn't. You know, with certain movements, you start to see clues that it's cinematic mode and not an actual full frame sensor. But even with all that being said, this is by far the best fake depth of field in video I've ever seen out of a phone. This shot I thought was really impressive because it's dusk, but it still looks very clean. With the wide angle lens, we now have an f1.5 lens. It used to be f1.6. And before, we used to have a sensor that was 1.7 microns per pixel. That's basically how big each pixel is. Big pixels is what I'm all about. I've been saying that since day one, but now we have 1.9. So slightly bigger sensor and a slightly faster lens, which is gonna give us just overall better performance in low light. The difference is fairly minor, but if you look for it, you'll see it. Now, Apple has also mentioned that with the better and faster processor, it's able to utilize a lot more machine learning to try to figure out what are you filming. Are you filming fireworks? And it'll try to kind of adjust for that. Things just look cleaner. The colors look better. You get a little bit more contrast where you want it and less contrast where you don't want it. Now, one of the things I'm personally really excited about is the improvement in lens in the ultra wide angle, which we're just about to switch to, f1.8. The sensor itself is at 1 micron, but the gap between an f1.8 to 2.4, that's almost a full stop of light. So almost double the amount of light is coming through that lens and hitting that sensor, which is awesome. Of course, that means it's going to rely on autofocus a little bit more because, again, the more light it's letting through with the open aperture, the less things you're going to be able to have in focus at the same time. But with that LiDAR that they have in here, the focus has been really reliable and it's pretty intelligent on what you're trying to focus on. This is going to make the ultra wide angle lens actually usable in low light. Not as good as the wide angle lens, but still a very noticeable upgrade. And remember that slow motion also requires more light hitting that sensor. So these improvements are definitely going to help you out. I do tend to find myself filming in low light for whatever reason. I mean, for example, last night, Carrie and I went out for dinner, and when we got back to our car, there was a dude just looking into the car, like trying to get in, I think. And then we get into our car, and then he goes into the car in front of us. And look at this guy.
It's like in the middle of the street. Like, that doesn't look suspicious at all.
And I got him in 4K. It's like the new Red-Handed, you know. Caught you 4K with 1.9 microns per pixel. So I get very high accuracy of color even in low light. Yeah, look, you can even see that this dude has a black eye. So he's getting himself into all kinds of trouble. All right, now looking at the selfie camera, or the true depth camera as they call it, it still looks good. It's 12 megapixels, f2.2. So no major improvements in terms of specs or anything like that. That is something I would love to see in the next version, like a really solid front-facing camera, because I want to be able to vlog with it. Dylan, I'm sure you want to TikTok with it.
All the time, dude. I'm just waiting to figure this out.
You'll be able to TikTok in the dark if you want.
Underwater?
Underwater, sure.
On the moon? Cool.
Yeah. Now the telephoto lens is a 3x zoom now instead of the 2.5 we used to get with the 12 Pro Max, or the 2x zoom we got out of the 11 Pro Max. I'm personally a big fan of that. I'll take as much reach as I can get out of that telephoto camera, because when it's just a 2x zoom, I feel like it's pretty pointless. Problem seems to be that every time we go tighter with an iPhone lens, we lose a little bit of speed from that lens. So we used to have an f2.0, then it went to a 2.2, and now we have an f2.8, which might sacrifice some low light capability, but 2 generations back to the 11 Pro Max, way less noise. So I don't know if the sensor's just better at picking up the light that comes through the lens, or if they've just gotten way better at denoising the image. But regardless, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Now getting into the reach, the 3x is obviously tighter than the 2.5, but nothing too substantial. But the real difference kicks in when you start activating that digital zoom and punching into the image further. So let's go ahead and go into a 5x zoom here, and notice the difference in sharpness, especially in the text and the lines. Much cleaner in the new 13 Pro Max. The 13 Pro Max gives us a little extra reach and can go up to 9x. So not only are we getting a cleaner image, but we also get more reach. So that is awesome. I also noticed that we're now able to view a stabilized image while we're filming it, opposed to the 12, which seems to show you a unstabilized version of the video while you're filming, but then it stabilizes the image afterwards. So not a big deal, but it does definitely make the shooting experience that much better, because you know what you're getting, opposed to hoping that it's going to stabilize enough after you shoot. Now, I actually think the big story here is the macro that is just built into this camera. No adapters, nothing fancy. You just bring the camera really close up to whatever you're trying to focus on, and it just keeps pulling that focus. It's kind of insane. So here's an example with the 12 Pro Max. This is as tight as we can get. But if we move in closer, we lose focus. I also tried it with the other lenses, and it's not bad, right? It's kind of what you would expect out of a phone. The telephoto lens seems to give us the best results. You could actually read that writing on that button. But now look at what we can do with the 13. Look, we just keep going, and it's a microscope now. That is just insane. I'll admit it, I had a lot of fun playing around with the macro. I mean, look, you can see all the stitching, the details on the fabric. I mean, it's pretty wild how good the macro is. Like, here's some texture of a leaf. You're seeing all kinds of stuff that you're not usually able to see with your naked eye. Oh, look at my eyeball. That's kind of disgusting. I'm a little bit disturbed.
Dude, would it look weird if you got up close to like an ant or a fly?
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Forget the flies. Check this out. No, come here.
Oh, I see it.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
That is so cool.
That is not cool. That is the scariest thing in the world. But yeah, overall, what do you guys think? I mean, me personally, anytime I can get an upgrade to the camera that I always have on me, I'm pretty happy about that. And my personal favorite is probably the better lens in the ultra wide angle lens. So let me go ahead and switch to that. And here we are in the ultra wide angle. It probably still doesn't look that good because it's pretty dimly lit in this hotel room. I'm doing a little bit of traveling for a project. I'm filming something. It's not a YouTube thing. It's like, but look how much crap I have to bring with me just to get professional looking footage. I can't wait till the day where it's like, hey, we're going out on a shoot, let's go on this job. All you got to do is bring the phone charger and maybe a tripod. I've actually been seeing a lot of people just traveling with nothing but like a tripod and a little phone mount. So, things are shifting. The quality out of these phones, you gotta admit, they're getting pretty good. But yeah, what's it like when you're looking at this ultra wide angle lens? Let me switch it to the best lens, the wide angle lens. And there, how's that look? I have a little bit less room for error here because I can't actually see what I'm filming here. If we go look at the mirror, I can't really tell what I'm filming. So I'm gonna flip it around to the selfie camera. At least I can see what I'm filming. So that does make things easier. Anyways, I got an early call time tomorrow, so I should probably get to sleep. So, good night.